What is up, ladies and gentlemen? I am Coolman Jr. 88, your independent source for wrestling, NASCAR, and music news. Hot off the heels of watching TNA Turning 2011. And as always, I am here to bring you your full match card with all backstage interviews and everything in between. So, with that said, and at the end of the video, I was fortunate enough to pick up a few cool pickups from Walmart, one yesterday and one this morning. So I'm going to show you guys those at the end of the video. And here we go. The meat and potatoes of the video, of course, your match card. First match was Eric Young versus Robbie E for the TV title. After much interference from Robbie E's bodyguard, your new TV title holder is Robbie E. After a vicious clothesline from Robbie T, almost at the end of the video, at the end of the match, excuse me. So Robbie E is your new TV title champ. On to the second match of the night, Mexican America versus Inc. for the tag team titles. What was interesting about this match was the women, both Rosita and Sarita, and the Inc. lady, I don't know her name, I apologize for that. They were all involved in the tag team match. So it was a 6-on-6, or in Mexican America's case, it was 4-on-3. So yeah, Mexican America wins over Inc. to retain their tag team titles, which I came in kind of late to the Turning Point pay-per-view. I caught the middle of Robbie E's match and the entirety of the tag team title match, but I didn't find there were some okay spots in this match, but I didn't find the standout spot to really comment. So Mexican America retains their tag team title match, their tag team titles. On to the first backstage segment of the night, JB backstage with Austin Aries and Kid Cash, and they were trashing Jesse Sorensen, saying how Kid Cash was saying how he was gonna spend the majority of the match just beating up Jesse Sorensen, and Austin Aries was telling Kid Cash, no, that's not the plan, and the plan was for the entire match to tag team on Jesse Sorensen, because it was a three-way match between Kid Cash versus Austin Aries versus Jesse Sorensen. So for most of the match, you saw and that was that match proceeded. That match came right after this backstage segment. So they go out to the ring, and Austin Aries and Kid Cash basically follow the plan for the majority of the match. And your winner and X Division, still X Division, it was for the X Division title. Still X Division champ Austin Aries. So three huge title matches right off the bat, right off the word go. The TV title, the tag team title, and the X Division title, and the only one that changed hands was the TV title with Robbie E. Eric Young was the TV title champ going into the match, but Robbie E won the match. So he's a new TV title, but everybody else retained their championships, their respective championships. So yeah, Austin Aries won the X Division title match. And then we go on to another backstage segment with JB, with AJ Styles on Rude. And he basically, AJ said that he was disappointed in Rude, and how he's no longer a part of Fortune, and how he's going to teach him some respect and all this and all that. So we go on to the fourth match after the segment. We go on to the fourth match, which was Chris Daniels versus RVD, no DQ match. What was interesting about this match was that Chris Daniels comes out and pulls a promo and says he wants to have a gentleman's agreement between RVD and himself for no paraphernalia, no chairs, no nothing, just a straight up wrestling match. And RVD obliges, and for most of the match it's just a straight up wrestling match. It is. Except at the end, Chris Daniels realizes he's gonna lose, and he pulls a chair, and he does a sick power bomb, not a power bomb, but a choke slam on the chair on RVD's back. So RVD is kind of injured at that with that move. RVD ends up winning the match. So yeah, after Chris Daniels attempts to bring in once again the screwdriver from the toolbox, RVD ends up pinning Chris Daniels. So yeah, that's that. And then the backstage segment with there's the backstage segment with Robbie E, the new champ. Robbie T lets JB into the club per se, and yeah, he talks about I told you so for months, how I was gonna beat Eric Young, and how Robbie T was gonna celebrate with me, and all this and all that. So that was basically the backstage segment. Match number 5 was Crimson versus Matt Morgan. And these guys had a pretty good match, in my opinion. The only thing is they were going back and forth, and they were both saying, come on, hit me with your best shot. And for a few minutes there, all they were doing was trading punches to the chin, and oh my god, like, these guys would not budge, would not freaking budge. The end of the match is there was no particular end to the match. There was I think a count out, because they wouldn't break at the referee's discretion. So there's no end. Crimson retains his undefeated streak. So yeah. And then there's another segment with JB, Scott Steiner, and Bully Ray on Ken Anderson and Abyss. And Bully Ray, as usual, was bullying Abyss and saying how he was gonna kick his ass and all this and all that. And Bully Ray was telling Scott Steiner, just stand there and pose, and I'll take care of the rest, and all this and all that. So, and then we go on to the match. Match number 6: Ken Anderson plus Abyss versus Bully Ray and Scott Steiner. Ken Anderson and Abyss win the match thanks to Abyss. I believe. I think Abyss won the match, but yeah, Ken Anderson wins. Ken Anderson and Abyss win. Um, and then after the match, Bully Ray pulls out the table. Bully Ray and Scott Steiner put Abyss to the table, and oh my God, Abyss just stands the freak up, just pops up like crazy nuts, like nothing ever happened, and Bully Ray cowers in a corner and like runs out of the ringside area and finds Eric Bischoff. Let's see. Yeah, finds Eric Bischoff on the telephone, and says, "We've got to do something about Abyss. We put him through a table, and he didn't do anything." And he's like, "Did you see the match? Did you see the match?" And of course, Eric Bischoff was handling whatever he was handling on the phone, and he says, "No, I was handling personal business." And he Bully Ray goes, he popped out of nowhere, and we put him through a table, and we got to do something about Abyss. So they go looking for Abyss, and then we never see the end of that. On to, let's see, after the Ken Anderson match, we go into another backstage segment with JB, and this time the Knockouts. Gail Kim, Madison Rain, and Karen Jarrett, the VP of the Knockouts. Basically, Karen Jarrett singing Gail Kim's praises, and the week before the pay-per-view, Madison Rain and Gail Kim won the Knockouts tag team title the Knockouts tag team titles. So Madison Rain and Gail Kim were your Knockouts tag team title holders when going into the match, and tonight was the singles Knockouts championship match between Velvet Sky and Gail Kim. So if Gail Kim had won the match, Gail Kim would have had 1/2 of every piece of gold that the Knockouts division had. So of course Velvet Sky puts up a fight, but at the end Gail Kim wins the match, and she now holds 1/2 of the Knockouts tag team titles, and she's the Knockouts singles champion. So she holds all the gold right now, along with Madison Rain. So that stable between Karen Jarrett, Madison Rain, and Gail Kim are very, very strong right now. And yeah. Bischoff was on the phone, which I already told you about. And then match number 8, Jeff Jarrett versus Hardy. Hardy, minute into the match, Hardy pins Jeff Jarrett. Like, not even a minute into the match. And it's nuts. I'm checking the time, folks. 11 minutes and something seconds, so I'm gonna hurry up. Jeff Jarrett gets pinned by Hardy less than a minute into the match, and so yeah, Jeff Jarrett ends up asking Hardy for another chance, and he pins him twice. So that's twice, and Hardy tries to go up the ramp, and Jeff Jarrett grabs the chair, hits Hardy square in the face, pulls him back to the ring, and says, "I'll say when it's done." And Hardy ends up pinning Jeff Jarrett again. So that's 3 times in one night, folks. 3 times. 1, 2, 3 times in one night that Jeff Jarrett gets pinned by Hardy. And if Jeff Hardy's not back by now, he's not back at all. And then, of course, there was a backstage segment with JB and Rude saying how he didn't need anybody and he was the star of the company and all this and all that. We go on to the match, AJ Styles versus Bobby Roode for the World Heavyweight Championship, TNA World Heavyweight Championship. And Rude retains his title due to nefarious means, and of course AJ Styles puts up a good fight, but Rude is still your champion. So yeah, there you go, folks. Your TNA Turning Point 2011 full match card with all the backstage segments. And due to time constraints, I am going to have to put you on hold for that, for the surprises. Hold on, folks. Let me check. Yeah, I'm going to have to put you on hold for the surprises at the end that I was going to show you. So yeah, that's your TNA Turning Point 2011 match card. I will see you guys later. This is Command Junior 88, your independent source for wrestling, NASCAR, and music news. Peace out.